Hi folks, I have made an open source alternative to all the subscription based software service, and I made this tool very pretty simple, and it only does one thing, and that is create animated subtitles. If you use Opus and if you use Canva, or if you are using Adobe Premiere Pro, you need to pay a subscription fees. But with this open source tool you can create animated subtitles just with one click, and it works in all the system. It is open source, it is built on Electron TypeScript, so that means it is executable to all the system right now present in the market. And at the same time, you can see how we can customize our application, our subtitles for each frame. And this is something which I will use in my production. And the reason for creating this application was that I need to check whether I can wipe code properly and whether I can build my own solutions. And yes, I can do that. And if I tell you one thing, I built this application in 6 hours only. And why I'm saying in 6 hours, I will show you my GitHub commits also. You can track it, you can see it. Like I created a GitHub repository, then cloned it into my cursor, and I used cursor and Claude code to build this application. The video which you see, it was built in 6 hours, and I have upgraded with some minor improvements, some major upgrades, which I was seeing in as a bug. So we will just get in how we did it and how you can do it too. But before that, let's get into the demo first. So you can see in the video, it is right now like actually doing all the things, like you can edit subtitles and lol. But there was some issue, there was some bug, and that bug was like my audio was also getting deleted. Like I have linked my subtitles with the audio so that whenever I delete the filler words, pauses, it also deletes that. So that was my main motivation, and it had created some extra bugs. But yes, we don't need right now. We can merge also. Earlier merging was not also allowed, so we have upgraded this. So you can see in the final output, you can see this is the thing which you can see in the demo. Let's show you more feature which I have added, and you can understand what exactly we are getting into. So I've made this work. So you can see here drag and drop also works. You can select click, and again we will use the same video template which we have, because we need to make sure that our template should be less wordy. So we will do that. Like our template should have less minutes. So that's why our render time will decrease. So you can see I can fix my maximum words per line, like how many words I want, how many characters I want. So let's do it for 7 words, 16 characters in a line, and it will transcribe. So it is using Whisper in the background. So it is using OpenAI Whisper and running it in the local. So you can see Whisper is a very light model. So if you can see right now, there are some UI issues, like the caption timeline is working when I'm not in full screen. Okay, so if I increase the width, now you can see it is working. Now if I do full screen, it should, okay, it is not working. So you can see there are few minor bugs which you can obviously work upon, and whenever I double click on something, it actually goes here. Now for example, I want to maybe merge then 180 days, so I can merge it using this. So this has merged this particular item, and if I press Command Z, it actually deletes all the transcription. So I need to also implement the history for the merging also. So let's go to our previous projects. And right now projects were also not added. So in this new version, you can see I have projects. So I will use this one which I have loaded. So you can see I've been using cursor, and I've gathered 7 tips and all. And you can see I have different. Now there is also something which I have not shown in the demo, and that is the progressive. So that means you can actually see what progressive is. So maybe I will just go to the previous version, and I will show you what it is. Okay. So let me do this do progressive for here. And if I, okay, right now, like this, I have not implemented the feature where I can just try, and that's why it is playing the video. So you can see this is the progressive bar we have. Now we can just change it to like this, and if I play it the demo again, so if you see it, you can actually make progressive item, and at the same time, you if you click on the double click here, so you can save. If you click this, and if you want to scale this, you can scale the size also. And if you want to change the font, we can change the font to something else if you want. And at the same time, if you want like this type of highlighter, you can use this type of highlighter. Again, you can change the text color, and it again completely depends on your use cases. And again, you can change the highlight color, and you can change the background color also, like different backgrounds are there. And right now it is in very basic stage, it is just an prototype or the MVP we can say, but it actually solves the basic problem, that is the text highlighting. Now for the feature I want to build, I can just make sure that the style gets applied automatically, so it is not of a big hassle. And you can see that I can also edit my items, so say 1 2 3. So if I do this, it will preserve the audio, and if for example I don't want this audio, I can use this delete, and if I press again command C, it is rendering it again. So this is how we are storing the history, as I wanted to tell. And again, you can use uppercase. So there are few upgrades also. If you want to use lowercase, capitalize each word, or uppercase, or maybe none. So this is also a new feature which I have added. Again, you can, this was already in that particular item, and this project is there. You can save this project, and if I save it, it has saved this in the history. So you can see just now I have saved this item. And if I want to go to export video with captions, I can, caption like 60 frame per second or 30 frame per second with good like rendering quality, fast, balanced, high. And you can see it is giving us a estimated time for our video rendering. So these are the few upgrades which I have done, and this is the live preview editor which I am working right now. It is not complete, but this item was built on 6 hours, and again I worked the second time today only. And if I show you the cursor, this was my all cursor chat, like I started today only. So if I go to resume, for example, you will know how much time I worked. So like 1 hour ago, 1 hour ago, and 2 hour ago. So you can say only 2 hour ago I worked, and it was like simple edit 1 day ago, and that was, you can see. And this is it. So you can see if I go here, and again I have hit my Claude cursor, like Claude limit. So whenever I hit my Claude limit, what I do, I just take this and do this, and it automatically gets all the context about what we have actually implemented, and I can continue here directly in the cursor. So you can see I have also worked previously in cursor. So if you're using Claude Code and cursor, this is how you can work. And let me tell you one thing, if you're using cursor after a long period of time, it actually gives you Claude Sonnet, which I am assuming it actually gives you Claude Sonnet because it does a good tool calling, it gives a good proper output, just like we use Claude Sonnet models. So that is my assumption. So you can use Claude Sonnet this way in through Claude Code, and when you hit the limit, you can use cursor parallelly. And even if Claude is not allowed, it is using different model. I would say it uses intelligent model, and sometimes when again you exhaust a lot of limit in cursor, at that time it uses GPT-4 only. That is my assumption, because it doesn't apply any edits. So you have to be cautious about what model you are using and what type of output you are getting, and you can just reset your credentials. So you can see after 10:30 p.m. in the midnight, I can use Cloud Code again. So till that time, so for example, if it is 9:04, so I can use 1 hour cursor easily, 1 or 1.5 hour cursor easily. So that is the thing you get in the benefit when you're using Cloud Code and cursor, and that's why I recommend use both at the same time. Not only one, use both. It will give you a lot of advantages. So now let's get into how to actually build a software which you can use for your own personal task. So see, building a SaaS application, building a production level application takes a lot of time. There is no doubt it has a lot of work, lot of issues. So for example, if I sell you this application, you will probably say, no, I don't want to buy. But I don't want to sell it. I just want to use it for my own use cases. So at this particular time, okay, you will say yes. Now I can use this because I know what is going into it and what exactly I need. I needed this type of subtitles, and I edited it. So the first thing which you need to do, and that is create a PRD. I have also covered one video yesterday on Cloud Code, so you can watch it to understand how to create PRD. So if I go to my resume, I will go to my first prompt. So this was my first prompt 1 day ago, and if I go to export, and I will just save to file, and it will create a file in my local. So you can see this was my first prompt where I actually created a, okay, first of all, okay, this is not the chat. Like we need to exactly access the proper chat we need. So okay, let's see whether we can get it. Okay, right now I don't have that chat history, but this is what I mean. So if you see the previous video of yesterday, you can actually get what I mean by that. So let me just do Control Art whether I can toggle. Okay, no, I cannot toggle. So let me 3 more to go. Okay, I cannot do. So let's skip this part and I will show you how to make how to make the items for your own use cases. So I will go to Claude, for example. I've created my PRD again in Claude. So I will go to Claude and I will show you my, yeah, so this was my PRD which I have created. So you can see this was the PRD which I have used. So you can see I just told it to, can you draft a PRD which I can give to my engineer, and this should be very lightweight and it should have 5 font options, and it is the first draft. So you can see this is the PRD it has created, the video import and processing, AI transcription, how to use OpenAI Whisper integration, how to use karaoke highlighting system. So this is the visual text editor. What are the fonts you need to give? So it has designed everything for me, and I just put it in the Claude Code, and obviously use PRD when you're using Claude Code. The reason is Claude Code use tool calls until it hits users limit. But if you use the tool call in cursor, you will see a problem, and that is it doesn't do a lot of tool calls in one request. But Claude Code, it goes like it goes on and on and on. So if you come after 30 minutes or 10 minutes, you will get your complete application. So this is the benefit of using Claude Code. And you can create PRD from Claude itself, or again you can use, and that is what I recommend, and that is you can use plan mode. So plan mode is also benefit. So today, for example, whatever changes I made, I didn't use Claude. So what I did, I made my plan. So okay. So I will just do one thing. Okay, my cursor, my Claude Code just got stuck. So I will kill this terminal and I will open a new terminal. So I will do this and I will open up Claude. So if I open this and if I go to resume our conversation, and this was my first draft, I guess, 2 hours ago. So let's see whether we can go to the top or not. Okay, this is not in the top. So let me just do one thing for you and export this chat. This will help you to understand what I mean. So it will save to file. Let's do this. And the session is being continued. Okay. Right now, if I'm okay, this was my prompt. So you can see this was my prompt. Like I mentioned, all the bugs I have in the application and everything. So it has summarized my plan, and I was using all the plan mode. So it was using plan mode for now. So you can see it is reading all the files. So it has created up based on my comprehensive analysis of the code base. So user rejected Claude plan. So okay, you can see the plan, and it has created this particular PRD again about what I want, what you can use. So you can always use plan mode to plan, and that will also work. So this is one of the benefit you get when you are using Claude. And how to actually use the plan modes, you can use Shift tab and plan mode will be activated. So you can just toggle Shift tab and plan mode will activate. So this is how you plan, and after you have planned, you can implement your changes. And again, I want to tell you, for example, you have one requirement to build one application. The first thing which you need to do is not to reinvent the wheel, not to always go to cursor, go to Claude and okay, build with this application. Don't do that. First of all, search web, use Reddit search and everything, search everywhere where you can get. So I actually searched a lot. So word by word, word by word highlighter, caption, maybe like this type of words. I type in software or maybe something code or maybe GitHub. So I needed something without any subscription. So I always go to GitHub. So you can see there are different links which I've already opened in the past. So make a tutorial of making word by word subtitle. So if you go to it, you can see it was referring Whisper and everything. So I studied, and you can see how complicated this is. So I didn't like it. So I just press back and I again implement, like I search different items. So you can see there are different libraries also. So first of all, I don't reinvent the wheel. I study what is there on the internet. Now, when I was searching, I didn't know how to pronounce and what is the right term to use if you're building this application. So I searched a lot, and then I got all the information about what exactly is going behind the scene, how I can build the logic and everything. So first of all, I did this, and you can see this was my first prompt. So karaoke style caption highlighter and subtitles, which uses OpenAI Whisper in the background to generate caption. So I just gave one basic prompt so that it understand what to build. So first of all, I told that I want to build something for Mac only, and it suggested me Swift UI, AV Foundation, but I don't know anything which is integrated with this. So again, it uses Whisper and it is using C++ again, and things get complicated here. So I just told, okay, what if I don't choose Swift, something related to TypeScript for the UI? And I understand TypeScript, and I also know that AI is good in TypeScript and it understands it's better. So you can see Electron plus TypeScript, it has given me an integration Whisper, then it has given me integration of Tori plus TypeScript. But again, if I use Tori, then I have to use Rust in the backend, and it will again create a different problem for me. So always choose the tech stack which you want to implement. So you can see I just have asked question to Claude, and Claude told that, and then again it told me an approach of using different thing for binding, PRDs implementation, and everything like that. So this is great. But again, I told why cannot I use FMPEG? FMPEG, why cannot you use it? So it says yes, you can use it. So it's a perfect choice. And obviously AI gives you a good suggestion that yeah, it is perfect choice. So it always agrees with you. Like, yes. So that is up to you. Don't listen to that. Listen to what it is giving as a supporting statement. So you can see video input, FMPEG, audio transcript, audio extraction, then whisper, then timestamp caption, then we are burning. So this was a problematic step which was implemented. So right now we are not using FMPEG directly. We are using something web related, like which is native to JavaScript ecosystem. So I'm not aware of that what it is using, but I've used a lot of websites. So in the 6 hours of build time, 1 hour was done, like it implemented everything in 1 hour, but it didn't highlight any of my subtitle. So FMPEG was not properly implemented, and the rest 5 hours was all gone into debugging this application. So this is one thing which you have to do. So you can see for 1 hour code I have to debug for 5 hours, but it is better than coding for 1 week and then implementing something. So in one day I got the result. So that is what matters in the end. So you can see what it has suggested, and I just said okay, it sounds nice, it sounds good, and I just said, okay, can you draft a PRD? Once you are satisfied with all the plan mode, and then you can go to draft a PRD. So you can see it has given us different advantages in the future also, which I have not implemented right now, but this is the basic draft, and this is how you can do. So the first step is always to understand your needs, then go to Google or anything in the web search and search for all the items. Like I searched different NPM libraries, different software service, different softwares, and different GitHub repositories where I can actually get my work done. And once you have done that particular item and you get no results, then go to the behind the scenes what actually to use, and then come to Claude, plan it properly, and then give it to Claude Code and Cursor, and it will build it for you. And it is very basic MVP, and it is good for your personal use case. Like I wanted to emphasize that everything cannot be sold, and if you want to sell it, you will require a full time gig. Like you have to give full time energy, right, to that particular thing. But if you build your own software service, own software tools, what and you can focus on what you do the best, and this way you can win in both the fields, right? So this is what I wanted to tell. So you can obviously reduce your development time and you can build your application, and this is how you should approach how to build. So give PRD, get things, and see where the bugs are happening. Just screenshot the bugs, tell it properly what the bugs you are facing, and Cloud Code and Cursor again will work together to build that application for you. So right now I don't know how Electron API works, how the TypeScript was done, but since I have debugged it a lot, like I was seeing different thing, and I like it. I like to read code like while The way everyone reads book, I like to read code as well. So what I did, I went to it. I just skimmed it. I never read it properly. I just skimmed it, and you can see this is how what it does. It has made a very simple, lightweight application. Like the code is all brute forced. We have to properly segment it if you want to sell it and if you want to scale it in the long term. But if you're building it for your own use case, it doesn't matter. And again, it has created scripts on how to build an application for Windows, how to build an application for Linux, how to build application for Mac. It creates mac.dmg, like the dmg file for us. And this is very beneficial for me. So I've not run this script right now for this new upgrades, which I have to do again when I get my limits back from Claude Code and as well as from Cursor. I will use that. And this is what I wanted to tell, and this is what I wanted to tell you, that you can do that too. You can build it too for your own use case. So first of all, get into building your own application. And once you are comfortable with that, once you get all the understanding, all the basics clear, then you can build your SaaS. So this was it. And I will see you in the next video with another tip and workflow which you can implement to enhance your workflow. So I will see you in the next video, guys.